Luis Alberto Lopez's bout took a dark and unexpected turn after his knockout loss to Angelo. In a shocking incident, Lopez was attacked post-fight, leading to a small brain bleed that has the boxing world deeply concerned. This alarming injury underscores the harsh realities and dangers fighters face, both inside and outside the ring. As Lopez's condition is closely monitored, this serves as a somber reminder of the critical importance of fighter safety in the sport.
And you watch the offensive attack. Look at these. I mean, that left hand he just was thrown. He was ducking to his right and thrown from distance as Angelo Leo then finds some success on the inside.
Leo needs to be careful with that. I mean, big right hand over the top and a jab from Leo.
And he comes in on the attack. And a sweep.
The featherweight championship fight was a thrilling display of power and precision, with Angelo Leo leading the charge. His left hand, thrown with impeccable timing while ducking to his right, struck with force, setting the tone for the bout. Leo's big right hand and jab kept Luis Alberto Lopez on the defensive, while his sweeping right hand made a significant impact in round 2. By round 4, Leo was relentless. His sharp right uppercuts and aggressive style dominated the ring, putting Lopez in a difficult position. Despite Lopez's attempts to counter, Leo's well-timed punches and strategic aggression stole the spotlight. The high-energy exchanges and Leo's dynamic attacks made it clear that this championship fight was one for the books.
Boxing news today that Luis Alberto Lopez suffered a brain bleed following that possible, KO of the year highlight reel thing that he suffered against Angelo Leo last weekend. Now, if you haven't seen the fight...
The devastating precision of Leo's left hook caught Lopez completely off guard and sent him plunging to the floor. Despite his brave endeavors to rise, Lopez couldn't beat the count. The seriousness of the knockout became obvious as Lopez stayed on his stool, receiving oxygen before being raced to the hospital. The serious diagnosis was a small brain bleed, highlighting the sport's inherent dangers. While medical procedure wasn't needed, the injury's seriousness highlighted the risks fighters face with each session. The fight serves as a poignant illustration of the slender line that separates triumph and tragedy in the ring. This fight has a lasting impact long after the final bell, highlighting the risks that fighters are willing to take in order to win.
This must surely be the end of his career, you would think, wouldn't you? I mean, this guy has been an absolute road warrior, very tough man. That was the first stoppage defeat of his career. He'd lost twice previously. But on the road, he'd won the IBF title against Josh Warrington. He'd knocked out Michael Conlan in Belfast. I mean, he was going all over the world and thought absolutely nothing of going in with Angelo Leo in his hometown. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for him in a fight that was...
Luis Alberto Lopez's ascension in the boxing world was nothing short of spectacular, as seen by his IBF title triumph against Josh Warrington and a dramatic knockout of Michael Conlan in Belfast. Lopez, who is renowned for his daring tactics, stepped into Angelo Leo's territory without hesitation when faced with a challenge, but then something horrible happened in the conflict. Lopez gave it his all, but when Leo prevailed, it was a devastating blow to him, and the fallout was even more worrying. Lopez was identified as having a minor cerebral hemorrhage, a potentially fatal ailment that did not necessitate surgery but has clouded his future in the game. Now, there is a significant chance of developing long-term health problems, such as persistent headaches. Lopez's precarious condition, in which his career is in jeopardy, serves as a stark reminder of the terrible hazards boxers incur every time they enter the ring and risk their lives for the sake of the sport they like. Angelo Leo delivered a devastating left hook that sent Luis Alberto Lopez crashing to the canvas. As referee Ernie Sharif began the count, it quickly became apparent that Lopez wouldn't recover in time. This moment marked the end of Lopez's reign, with Leo handing him his first loss in 4 title defenses since he claimed the belt from Josh Warrington in 2022. Unlike Lopez's previous challengers, Leo brought a level of power and precision that proved too much to handle. Leo, the newly crowned IBF featherweight champion after winning the WBO super bantamweight title, was particularly happy with his victory. With a performance that demonstrated both his skill and tenacity, Leo cemented his position among the boxing world's best and boldly declared that he was back on top and prepared to rule the featherweight class.
Very poor error of judgment. Lopez was allowed to fight on, was to be offered a license in some of these more obscure states in the US, for example, or maybe back in Mexico where he's from. You would think he would say, nah, enough's enough.
Luis Alberto Lopez's boxing career is in jeopardy while he recovers from a severe brain bleed. Because of how serious his illness is, there are concerns about how long he can pursue his job, which may lead him to look for work in less controlled areas, or maybe go back to Mexico. Notwithstanding this setback, Lopez's career is defined by his unwavering persistence and tenacious attitude. His tenacity embodies the real spirit of a fighter, despite the obvious dangers that come with the game. Even if Lopez's boxing career comes to an end due to this injury, his legend will live on. With his victories over formidable opponents, he has cemented his important legacy in boxing. As he navigates this difficult phase, Lopez must plan for his future outside of the ring, prioritizing financial security and spending quality time with loved ones. This circumstance illustrates the enormous sacrifices that fighters make, as well as the crucial importance of prioritizing their health and safety above all else.
For that fight in Albuquerque, Angelo Leo saying that Venado Lopez is hittable and has defensive flaws. What do you make of this fight between Leo and Venado Lopez?
Yeah, I'm out here in New Mexico standing in for Tim Bradley on the ESPN call for this fight. And Angelo Leo, a Pro Box TV alum.
Angelo Leo is stirring up the boxing world with his bold claim that Luis Alberto Lopez is hittable, pointing to defensive flaws that he believes are ripe for exploitation. This battle, which is being broadcast from New Mexico instead of Tim Bradley on ESPN, is clearly a watershed event in Leo's professional career. The stakes are extremely high since Leo views this as his opportunity to take center stage and win a key victory for his career. His assurance comes from a strong conviction that Leo can take advantage of Lopez's defensive openings to gain the advantage he needs. Leo's tactical strategy and the support of his local supporters are preparing the audience for what looks to be an incredible fight as it gets closer. As the excitement grows, everyone's watching to see if Leo can live up to his word and take advantage of Lopez's shortcomings to make this fight one to remember.
There are opportunities that he sees flaws in Venado's style that he can take advantage of. And I mean, I'm going to have to agree with him. You know, I've been doing a lot of studying for this fight, obviously getting ready for the fight on Saturday night, doing, fight breakdowns and how they match up. And there are things.
Leo's bold claim that Luis Alberto Lopez has defensive flaws ready for exploitation is gaining attention. As I prepare for the fight and dive into analysis, I have to agree with Leo's assessment. While Lopez is undeniably a dynamic and athletic puncher, his defensive shortcomings are apparent. He often fights with his hands low and chin exposed, relying heavily on his explosive style to compensate for his shorter reach. In contrast, Leo showcases superior fundamental boxing skills. His precise hand positioning and explosive left hook, especially since his move up in weight, put him in a strong position. Leo's ability to excel both inside and outside the ring shows he's done his homework. However, while Leo has identified these vulnerabilities, the real challenge will be executing his strategy against a tough competitor like Lopez. This fight is shaping up to be a clash of skill versus resilience, promising an electrifying showdown. So what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. If you like our channel, hit the like button subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell icon so you always stay updated. See you in the next one.